I would say probably using our home as the Ivy House for this year has just made it even more exciting than it has been before. We had our own thoughts in mind of how spaces would turn out, and then to see the designers come in and just totally transform what this space looks like, it's just been interesting and exciting and fun. And I'm Vincent Centanni.
And I'm Centanni.
And we own Ivy Residential Concepts, a design build firm in Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
So we actually have a unique role in this particular project because we've been on this project really since 2021. Our firm has been involved with all of the architectural details, and then we've been involved with the build as well as some of the hard surfaces and material selections throughout the home. How Ivy got started is we were working with clients on just the build portion of their home, and by the time they would get to us, they were just so frustrated with the whole process because they were working with all these different vendors who had different lines of communication and no one to really guide them through the whole process and make sure that it was streamlined. We just decided that we really needed to be able to be the kind of advocate for them throughout that process and make sure that they really were getting the vision of their project finalized.
With our design build approach, it helps us to even build and cultivate a better relationship with our clients so that we can just understand everything that it is they're trying to accomplish in their project, design that in, and then when we're complete with all the design pieces of the project, it's just an easy transition to go into actually building and executing that work.
I really think that travel has played a huge part into the conceptualization of most of our projects because we really get inspired when we go to other cities or countries or show houses and think of how we can bring that back to our market. I would say that being timeless or classic in nature is important to us, so we are kind of always seeking that out when we travel, but also incorporating modern and fresh ideas that we aren't necessarily seeing in our market all the time and being able to bring those back to our clients.
There's two parts to most of the work that we do. We do a lot of projects where it's just us developing it on our own, where the other piece is really more just serving our clients. So when we're dealing with clients, they're a big part of the conceptualization of whatever it is that we're going to design. So we typically like to pull them in the beginning and kind of just understand places that they've been to, the design elements that they like to add into their home, things that they'd like to bring with them from the home that they have now, and just try to absorb how they're living so that we can incorporate all of that, because that's what they're hiring us for.
And trusting us for.
In our firm, really one of our favorite styles is more of like a European aesthetic. That's what we usually gravitate towards with, the projects that we've worked on. So you probably, in most of our projects, will see a little nuance of that throughout any of the work that we do. But specifically in this home, what we kind of pulled in and what we tweaked a little bit as we go from project to project is trying to find a balance between that European classical aesthetic and then also trying to bring in the more modern aspects of the project. So you'll notice that we have a lot of clean lines, no baseboards, no crown molding, but we did still try to incorporate some traditional elements and pieces like pediments and trim, where you'll see that kind of helps to match the outside motifs on the Georgian aesthetic.
The exterior of the home is more of a traditional Georgian, and we really wanted to play off of that for the interiors while still remaining just kind of fun and youthful. And one of the ways for us to do that was to just involve a lot of color in the selections and the hard materials. You'll see all natural materials, which is what we gravitate toward. However, there's bolder colors and patterns that just, I think, make the house have a little bit more of a fun and youthful aesthetic than what we've done on a lot of our projects in the past. The architectural spaces are extremely important to us, and there's so many layers of what goes into making those spaces special. The kitchen and the bathroom were obviously very important in making finishing selections. The kitchen, I would say that it's bold, but it is still classic in nature. We really wanted to create was just this kind of fresh and reimagined white kitchen. And it's so funny to say that because I think a lot of people are done with the white kitchen, but just some of the elements I think we included, especially with the Calcutta Violet marble throughout from Marmy, really makes a bold statement in there. And then we use New Ravenna checkerboard burgundy and white marble tiles, and that as well really changed it up.
Part of what we do as a company, what we're trying to do is try to hone in on what it is that people love, what they've loved for hundreds of years. And even right now, people are doing a lot of these white kitchens, and maybe they are starting to go out of trend, but the truth is like there's something that people loved about it, whether it was the cleanliness of it, the crispness of it, and then just start tweaking things, whether it was just subtle changes in the color of the white, subtle changes in the color of the marble, or going bold with the marble to really just make a splash in there while it's still white, whether it was just subtle changes in the color of the white, subtle changes in the color of the marble, or going bold with the marble to really just make a splash in there while it's still white. The overall concept for the kitchen was really a modern take on a service kitchen, something you would have seen in the past in other architecture. And truthfully, Jewel had been wanting to do some of these design elements like the icebox hinges and
strap hinges, which we got from Katona, which I think really are kind of the icing on the cake for the cabinets. They really take the white cabinets to another level, which we like.
And then adding in the French range from L'Atelier, we felt really brought it back, instead of having such a modern, new
and it's just,
design
it's
range.
so oversized. There's, different cooking elements on it. So it really takes you back to kind of that chef service kitchen in a very fabulous way.
And a true combination of like finish and function at the same time. Some of the elements I think we'd want visitors to notice are items such as the plaster stairs in the foyer.
If I were going to pick any takeaways I hope people have, I think the layout, because it allows each space to truly shine, and also the hard finishes and specialty metal products that we've used in places like the kitchen and the bathroom, and then the pivot doors that go indoor to outdoor are very cool, and I think can be utilized in a really neat way in the future of entertaining in the home. I mean, we have done our own show houses in the past, so we're familiar with the process, but it being our own house, it was definitely a unique set of challenges, because I think we were very excited that this isn't a speculative build. We can kind of do what we really want to do, and we're not nervous about it needing to be marketable when the show house is over. I think in the end, it's really amazing how that process has come together, and the designers have really taken the house to a whole nother level that we couldn't have even imagined, and it's worked out beautifully.
Now seeing how the designers have come and implemented their design to it has changed our total perspective on how we're going to use that space, and it's taken a gym to turn into a living space. So the reason that we chose a Georgian style home is we just wanted something just a little more distinctive, something that was a little out of the norm of what you typically see in Louisiana. Of course, it being a flat roof, that's not going to be something you customarily see in any development other than going to maybe New Orleans. And it is our home. We were looking to do something different, something that we've never lived in ourselves, something we haven't designed for another client.
But something we still felt was a nod to tradition and homes of the past, because our goal for not only ourselves, but just our firm in general, is to just have our homes remain generational and timeless, and that's really important to us as well.